And we are off. And Stevie will get first opportunity in this match. Nearly went in off on the break. Cue ball very close to that top corner. Depends whether that red goes top left. This might be a tight layout. But if that red goes, and all the reds actually have a home, have a pocket. He's going to call for an extra 15 seconds just to work this one out.
Red balls in play.
So reds is the choice for Stevie Depmsey. Assuming the red does go to the top left-hand corner, he's still going to have to play a very good shot to track down to these two at the bottom. He needs to get to the bottom left-hand side of those. And that one's gone wrong. Can he get through? Very tight. Even if he's on it this time, it's going to be very, very tough to get onto the next one. He's already worked himself into a bit of a problem here. Delighted to say, joining me on commentary for this match, a man who knows a thing or two about winning these Pro Series titles, Mick Hill. Great to have you on comms for this one, mate.
Yep, cheers, Simon.
I was thinking, as we see Stevie just accept what he has here, I was thinking, and I want to ask you about it. Bear with me as Mick Hill's having a few issues with his microphone. I'll get to my question in a minute. I'm going to let Stevie play this shot first. Oh, what a pot that is. But no reward for that pot whatsoever. Let me get my question out finally. We've seen Shane Thompson win 3 Pro Series titles, now 4, but 3 Pro Series titles almost back to back to back. We saw you do it. When Shane did it, we said we won't see anyone do it again for a while. Then we saw you do it 3 straight weekends, and now Tom Cousins is on the verge of doing exactly the same thing again. It's quite amazing how things go in spells. Is it just a case of riding a hot hand, and obviously you're all world-class players, but actually riding the momentum and the confidence?
Yeah, I mean, such a difficult question to answer, to be honest, because there's not a lot of rhyme or reason in any of it, to be fair. I mean, Tom's obviously played very well again. Carl Sutton did have a great chance at 6-all to put Tom out and didn't quite get there. So kind of, yourself at this level, you do feel a little bit like you need things to be happening for you, and you need kind of, at vital times, a player to maybe miss a finish that they wouldn't normally miss, or, all these different things. Having said that, he hasn't had a great run of the ball there.
Yeah, it's landed very awkward.
But yeah, I mean, just such a class player, just such a top player. I mean, I've gone on record saying a few times that I think Tom Cousins would have been a great player in any era. you know, they talk about that golden age quite a lot, and you know, Tom would have been a great player. There's no question. Yeah, but in terms of why does it seem to be happening that way? I don't know. I mean, I did say earlier on in the week, you know, early on in the weekend, that I do think that Tom's the best player on the tour at this moment in time.
Certainly riding it at the moment, isn't he? With what he's done, his body of work, lovely double. I mean, it's quite landed for him, but
it's the confidence, isn't it? I mean, like, you know, he can just drop in behind the yellow, don't me wrong, but he's just playing with so much confidence.
It's amazing, really, because middle of last year, around this sort of time last year, in fact, Pro Series 3 and 4 last year, he drew Gareth Potts, or second round, because he was had to be played the prelims, but essentially drew Gareth Potts twice. And
sorry, Sam, I don't like this shot though, because if Stevie comes off the top cushion and hits it, which he highly likely will, Tom's got no shot. He needed to play the one nearest the pocket and back himself to stun the ball in behind the yellow, and he didn't really want to. And if Stevie hits this ball, he goes favourite. So I wasn't keen on Tom's choice of shot there. I mean, like, what does Tom play now?
Yeah, it's a really good point.
So Tom actually, I think Tom played himself into trouble there, because he couldn't have possibly thought that Stevie was going to miss that red.
Yeah, he only left the one cushion. I guess the only thing he was hoping is he got really tight to it, but I mean, that's probably as hard as the pot was anyway.
Yeah, he definitely needed to play the one near the hole, didn't he? But we shall see. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm saying, you know, like, little things happening. I know Stevie's got the turnover shot, okay, but you know, that doesn't put the red in a great position. I mean, will he play the turnover shot? Will he play the cross double? Will he play the 3 cushions into the right hand centre? He's got options. Oh, that's a poor shot.
Plays the turnover and doesn't get it.
That's a very poor shot, Steve. Yeah.
Do you think he was conscious of, like you said, if he plays the turnover shot, likely not to put the red in a good position, so he was trying to get the red into that good position?
He hasn't played the shot for its merit. He's tried to do too much with the red and then forgot we've all done it, you know, and forgot the main part of the shot, you know. And I would never sit here and harp on about, you know, how things are happening for Tom and all that, because, you know, he's a lovely lad for a start. You know, I really like him. And I'm one of his biggest fans in terms of, not that I'm biased towards anybody in this match effectively, but bang.
There's that powerful break.
You know, like, as a player, you look at that and you think, I'd actually pay money for him to break the balls for me. You know.
Had Chris Melling on comms for his first for the first semi-final, for Tom's semi-final, and he was suggesting that your break was with his, so you get a nice compliment there.
What was that? Sorry.
We were talking about Tom's break, and he was saying that Tom's break is obviously very, very powerful, arguably the most powerful, but because of the control that yourself and a few other players put on the break, that he liked your break and a few others.
Well, I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't feel like I can break an egg at the moment, but that's been a little bit sort of undercooked in terms of, you know, different areas of preparation, you know, like, you know, because obviously Tom's playing with a lot of confidence and he's playing very well, then he's breaking very well.
Because you're cueing so well.
Because he's timing the ball very well. You know, we all know that that Gareth's a very prepared player. You know, likes to put the time in, and he times the ball really well and practices, you know. So, you know, when Melling was playing a lot of snooker years ago, his break was absolutely phenomenal, because his timing and his cueing was so good. I mean, he still hits some good now, but not quite as good, you know. And Darren Appleton was another one, big practicer, tuned up, prepared, never undercooked when he come to an event, broke great, you know, and it's there to be seen.
And that's one thing that Tom Cousins has really done since the middle of last year. This run has been built on the back of a lot of hard work on the practice table. Really putting the hours in now.
Yeah, very, very hard to work with when somebody's breaking as well as he does and plays as well as he does.
Yeah, huge break. One shot opens everything up, and then it's really simple for Tom. Rolls them in, makes them look very, very simple. Oh, he hits them really well as well himself, to his credit.
That seemed like it went straight into the corner pocket. Did you see that?
Oh, I'm sure we'll see the replay. Let's have a look.
That was strange. It did.
Wow.
How can the wing ball go straight into the corner pocket? Uh-oh.
Flew in.
Red balls in play.
So Stevie's going to have a go at the reds here.
They're all open. Red in the middle of the yellows goes, but it's a little bit tight.
Yeah, I think he's got to play bottom left here. I was actually a little bit surprised he didn't follow through for it, but same principle. Because he's got to open the pocket. That needs to slow up. He can play the one in the centre. See, the idea here is to play kind of 2 and 3. So he can either leave the one next to the 8 ball for last, or he could have left the one that essentially that he's going to play into the left centre now for last. So if he plays this in, just lands shy of the line. That's it. He's just about got there. So he can play 2 cushions now and try and get into the gap of the 2 yellows in the middle of the table, so we can see the red bottom left. He would love to be on that ball. So he's tried to leave himself the natural look to run round 2.
But playing it in a way where if it doesn't, he's on something else.
Yeah. So he's run round the 2. Very, very good shot. Very good shot. So now he can draw out probably into the edge of Tom's yellow, and then it's middle 8 ball. I like the way he's took these. The shot into the centre pocket to leave the natural top left was a very nice way to play it.
And the vision really more than the exact execution.
Yeah, because there's nothing to execute then other than pot the ball. So just make sure he's either got to try and desperately land straight or leave the angle where he can just run into the 8 ball. One or the other, but don't leave yourself in the middle. That's fine.
Extension called.
Took them well.
Very nice. Stevie Depmsey is up and running in the match. Comfortable win over Carboys with 6 straight frames in the semi-final.
Wow, again. It's just hard to handle, Simon, isn't it?
It is. It's such a powerful weapon.
You know, it's hard to handle.
It's not even just it's the way you described that as the free frames. That's the telling bit, because an opponent sat in the chair there, you see the lay of the table and you kind of make your mind up whether that's how much is he working here. And so often with Tom, you're kind of almost writing the frame off the minute you see a ball go down.
Yeah. He's got a couple of options here. He could play the plant first shot because the other yellow springs out and bring the cue ball all the way down the table. Yeah. He caught the pot a touch thick. I don't know if his body language tells me he feels like he can just flick this in with a bit of spin. But he did catch that a little bit fat. meaning that the yellow didn't come away from the top rail as he wanted to, and the cue ball didn't travel down the table quite as much as he wanted to. He's happy that the top one goes. Yeah. There was a couple of options here. He can play this and stun up the table for the top left, or he can play combination ball that he's just played centre pocket and play the one up the top of the table last and back himself to leave himself a shot at the 8, which he would probably fancy knocking in. So we've just got to be a little bit careful where this first yellow goes. Yeah, don't disagree with that.
Could have done with a little bit more up the table still.
Yeah, it's quite nice though, isn't it? Because he can. Well, he's got a couple of options, but he can play it with just a trace of right, just to get the line of the red ball really in the centre of the table. Yeah. That wasn't amazing, was it? I don't see it being a problem, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't great. And that was why really, because he was always going to be a little bit afraid of over-hitting it. I don't expect him to miss it, but he could have been better on it.
Yeah, certainly giving him enough to put full attention on this one.
Yeah, like I said, I don't expect him to miss it, but he could have been on it better.
And it goes. No problems at all for Tom.
Yeah, good break. Solid
Deserves
hit.
a ball.
Solid hit.
He's not going to get one.
What's he left? That's the thing. Has he left a yellow to the centre? He's certainly left the yellow to the right centre.
Very thin clip.
Yeah, if he can control it, then
he's going to go for the one right at the top of the table.
ooh, Johnny just.
Used it all.
But just is good enough. Does the yellow get passed through the two reds on the left-hand side? Hard to tell on our screen. He's going to have a little look now, is he? No.
He's not giving it a glance, to be honest.
No, I don't think he cares. Because
No.
I think he can play the centre, one down the rail, leave a half ball on the yellow bottom left and just bump into those two. I don't think he's interested whether it goes or not. Looks on our camera like it might squeeze through though. It's okay. A hair careless to be dead straight. I don't think it's going to make any difference, but still. You'd rather be playing this and coming out into play. Unless he's going to play it now, but you'd think he'd play the one on the rail first, would you?
Yeah, because you can just get it back to exactly where it is now.
Yeah.
So no benefit not to leave it.
But
Not
you'd
to
like-
take it.
But you'd like the cue ball up maybe a fraction. Like I said, I'm not saying it's going to make any difference, but he'd like to get the red full ball here, really. Just like that. And if he can play the one right centre and dig into it enough and still retain on the one over the hole, that would be nice. Because if he's okay playing bottom left here, sorry, bottom right, but he's a shot to play that way. If he plays right centre and digs into it enough, he's no shot to play at any point. That's why he's electing that. You see, because now he can pull this past the line and then just knock it in the centre for the 8 ball last. So that was the reason why he took the tougher ball there. And he's out again.
It's making the game look very simple right now. And he's going to get out off a Stevie Depmsey break as well. 4-1 in front. Andy has the break next. He did the same thing against Carl Sutton in the quarterfinals, and Carl's able to peg him back. That's got to be in Stevie's mind.
Oh.
And this could be the start of it for him.
Avoided the in-off into the top corner, then got the kick into the centre. So it was going in-off in there, and then.
But this is I know we were I was trying to make a little bit of a joke out of it with Chris's comments about the break in the semi-final, but that was what he was referring to, that Tom does lose the cue ball more than some of the other top breakers.
Yeah.
But he probably has as much power as anybody.
Yellow balls in play.
Yeah, and these yellows are nice for Steve, aren't they? Just what the doctor ordered.
Do you feel from a start of a match, when you're playing great players, that you just have to take your opportunities, or does it? So in this situation, you've got Tom Cousins, who looks like he's going to take every opportunity that comes his way. So Stevie, in this situation, it's not about making this clearance. It's almost as though he's come to the table here, and the requirement is to do 2 back-to-back here.
Well, I think what we've got to remember is we're playing a game where the first shot is a variable, you know. An opportunist shot to some point, even though we know if you hit them better, your probability is supposed to be higher of making one. However, the big key to this game as well is, I mean, how do the balls sit afterwards? You know, I mean, if Stevie gets this layout for the next 3 racks, then we're going to find ourselves at 4-all. You know, that's the bottom line, really. I mean, you know, we're talking about 2, you know, world-class players here, and it's not to undermine what they're doing or what everything else, so that's certainly not where we're at. But these guys can't really miss these finishes, Simon, do you know what I mean? Because they're too good a player to do it. So, you know, it is in the lap of the gods a little bit, isn't it? Because, well, if Tom doesn't go in off the break there, well, it's 5-1. But because he has gone in off the break, it's 4-2. So Stevie steps up after he's knocked these in. I expect him to knock them in. He's done everything that he can do, you know. Balls were there, he's took them. And that's kind of, at the level that we're talking here, that's kind of what it is, isn't it?
It certainly is. And Stevie Depmsey does take them.
Nice break. Can't buy a ball. I mean, it's
2 brilliant breaks, 2 dry on the trot.
Like kind of what you're supposed to do. Do you know what I mean? The yellow comes down the table, bumps the yellow. You know, Stevie's there going, well, you know, what we at? It is absolutely frustrating, like you wouldn't believe, I have to say, because, yeah, again, you know, a player at Tom's level here, I mean, he's even got a choice of ball. You'd think he's going to go yellow. Just don't drop this into the middle pocket. No, he loaded it up with right-hand spin there to straighten the line so that he didn't go in off. The viewer at home has the luxury there, because if you do see that, the dots are spinning. So that's how I know for sure he played it with side. And that was to straighten the line so he didn't go in off in the middle pocket. These little things can sometimes be missed in the game. Those little intricate little things, and it just looks like, well, he's just potted the ball in the corner. So you can keep an eye on the dots to what's been played. Smidging careless Tom there to leave himself straight, because he wants to play the one next to the 8 ball next, and he'd like to be close to it so he can control it. The further away from it is, the more he has to concentrate on potting the ball. I'm not saying he's going to miss it. He had a little bit of angle to get a bit closer, but that's why he pinched it, because now he can pretty much concentrate on what he wants the white ball to do, because he's going to give himself the pot. If he's further away from this, then he has to put more concentration into the pot, which then means the cue ball is sacrificed sometimes. He'd love the one. He wants to hit this quick. Oh, and the clock's done him, has it? No, good shot. I was going to say he would love for this one to go past the yellow ball into the corner, the red ball in the corner. It does.
Yeah, from the main camera, I didn't think it had a chance, but
Yeah.
you wouldn't play it here if it didn't.
When he was rushing a fraction there, I thought to myself, oh, he snookered himself. The clock's done him, but yeah, he's out again.
You have to say that both players have been blessed with some wide open layouts, as well as obviously playing some very good ball to go with it through this. We haven't seen many clusters or issues for them to solve. It's just about picking the patterns, which they've both done very well.
Yeah, and as I said, in no way, shape or form am I taking anything away from, you know, what we're seeing.
Another big powerful break.
What we got this time, a little bit.
A bit more work than the last couple, but it's not terrible, but
A little bit. But again, great break. So, does he play... Right, I see him playing the reds here, Simon. What do you see?
I was yellows all day, which
Yeah.
is not great for me.
Well, I might be wrong. I might be wrong.
The reason I was led to yellows, I feel like they all go and the yellows blocking the 8-ball, but I guess if you take depends on the red by the yellow in the bottom half and the red nearest the top left.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you for going reds.
Has he missed his cannon there, though?
Yeah, but it's worked out nice, hasn't it? He doesn't even need to play that cannon, does he? Because he can play the red here. And the thing is, he's got the one over the middle to just run down and just chip into the yellow and knock. So he probably played that, even if he was playing it at all, he probably played it as a two-way shot to get where he is now. I don't know if he can risk playing this off the yellow ball. If he plays this off the yellow ball, he's out. I don't know if he can play it, though. Yeah. Yeah. And these have highly likely gone.
Reds look good now.
Well, I can still call the shots, just can't quite play them how I once did. It's great in here because I feel like I can play again when I'm in here. It's just when I'm out there, I don't want to play the shots that I'm calling. But no. So
the two problems I thought that were out there, he's seen them the same way as you, that they're not really problems, because he can open up one end like he has, and the other one it actually connects up to the one that's nearest the other middle pocket.
Sorry, Simon. If this was me, I'd play centre now. He can play top right, but that's his little kind of hanger. Centre now, Tom. Play the centre and knock the yellow away, and then you can do it. Yeah, exactly. He's definitely looking after me. Oh, he just clipped the other ball on the way through. Wow, that was careless. That was slightly careless, Simon. He's put himself in a bit of bother here. Okay, he's okay, but...
He'll be glad he left this one over the top right now.
Exactly. I'm saying this is going to be from distance. Big shot, this now. Again, good temperament, though, so I think he'll just say, well, I've got the shot. I think someone like me or Phil Harrison, our head would probably fall off here by shaking it that much, thinking that we should be straight on it. Yeah, beautiful.
The confidence he is playing with is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Never a doubt in his mind that he was not going to knock that in.
The nice thing of that is, at least when he did have something to do, even though it was brought upon himself, he stood up and knocked it in. Do you know what I mean? You know, not for me to say because I was in what you've just said there, but you know, the cream does rise to the top, doesn't it? It's
absolutely,
just,
yeah.
You know, Stevie can't buy a ball for love nor money. He's thinking, well, what have I done wrong?
This break has just, and this one, the cue ball was going very close to that top right-hand corner, but the previous couple, he couldn't hit better.
And you got to feel for Stevie a little bit, because he feels like he hasn't really had a... You could chat to him after the final, and basically he could say, well, I don't feel like I've had a fair go.
Absolutely.
You know, he hasn't had a fair crack of the whip. I mean, Tom's out again here, and I never say that because, as a commentator, it's my biggest pet hate when someone says, you know, oh, they're out here, oh, these are roll-ins. Well, go out yourself and knock them in then. You know, but you know, I'd be very, very surprised if he doesn't get out.
I've just been given some information as we see Tom look like he's taking out another finish here. This is actually not for the win. It's a race to 8.
Is it?
I was given some poor information at the start of the match, and I am.
Stevie will be happy.
Yeah, I can only apologise, but it is actually a race to 8. So Tom is on the verge of going 1 frame away.
Oh, so we'll get a chance to watch Tom break and dish again then? Oh well. Yeah. Tom must be thinking, wow, I'm playing in a big final here. And, you know, loving life, because, as I said, he's not having a great deal to do, is he?
He's not, but
yeah, as a player myself, and kind of, you know, here we go. Anyway, come on, Steve.
Potential for the turn.
Come on.
By my money, this is Stevie Depmsey's 4th opportunity to win a frame.
Yeah, and
this is frame 10.
And this is brutal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because he gets his go, and he comes to that when he's had to watch Tom break every frame and pot one. And they're all, I know this is the game we play, but what I'm trying to say, I'm more coming at it from people watching at home and trying to educate them on the game. You know, yeah, we might look at this and go, oh, well, Tom's thumped Stevie 8-2. Well, but nothing that Stevie's done effectively. I know, like the odd, you know.
Yeah, you could. I mean, you can make the case that how important frames like the opening frame become when the game is as brutal as this.
Without a doubt, because it can set the trend. Not always, but sometimes it can set the trend for a match. Even as early as the first frame. Try and knock both balls out here if he can. I didn't quite catch it right. Not the worst outcome, but he tried to actually catch the red ball, half ball there, so he could knock the 8 ball out as well. Didn't quite catch it how he wanted to. So it could have been worse, but he can't do a lot with this. He doesn't want to get too cute with it. Yeah, he did. He tried to get too cute with it, you see, and get the cue ball out further than what was really on offer. But yeah.
This is what you're referring to, that you've seen Tom have these chances and they've been a bit more wide open than the one that Stevie gets. He finally gets a chance off Tom's break, and
you know what I mean?
He's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah. I mean, Tom, there's a couple of options here. He's obviously 7-2 up. So he might have a dip at them. Nice pot. And one thing I will say, particularly about like Tom and the new generation of player, they do double the ball very well. You know, in my day, a double was a little bit more, you played it if you had to play it. These days, guys are like playing on them.
Yeah, they're factoring them into the actual pattern, and it's not a thought in the world that it won't be.
Yeah, and the pockets actually play a little bit more generous down the line than what they did probably a few years ago, because the balls and the cloth is of a better quality. So it's interesting that, you know, in today's game they play probably doubles more than what they did when the pockets was maybe a little bit nippier, shall we say. And the balls weren't as good as what the quality of the balls are now, and the cloth and the lighting, and you know, so it does make the rail pots play a little bit easier, all those factors. But he's playing the turnover shot. Crafty little devil. He's 7-2 and he's playing the turnover shot and putting the cue ball behind the 2 yellows and the 8 ball.
I'm surprised if the fact he's playing it and he didn't leave more balls at the top of the table on. But it is very clever.
Very good. Very good. And I like to see that, because we've seen all the big break and mop them up, and we've seen a very, very, very classy pool shot there. For me, I like to see that.
Gave himself plenty of angle on that
Yeah.
one, so he could just drift across and have a wall of balls in the way.
I appreciate that shot more than if he'd have knocked those in, to be quite honest.
Which shows how clearly he's still thinking out there.
Absolutely.
He's not kind of throwing,
There's so no
the risk away.
lifelines.
Yeah,
There's so
exactly.
no
He's
lifelines.
7-2 in front, and it's respect to Stevie as well, that he knows things can turn around, and respecting the game, respecting the match.
Hit and hope. Yeah, hit and hope, make something happen.
And he
oh!
thought he had for a second.
Oh, but
And he developed the 8-ball.
yeah, but worst case scenario, he's left Tom right into the area which was sticky. And I think he's probably got enough angle just to nip out for the yellow in the centre here, has he? Yeah, I mean, oh, careless Tom. A little bit careless. May not prove to matter, but
Just gone a good couple of rolls too far here for perfect position.
there's a little bit to do. He can play it as a bit of a two-way shot though, because his cue ball's going up over behind the gate anyway. I think this is all she wrote. Yeah, nice pot. Great performance by Tom. Got to feel a bit for Stevie. Never really got a chance to play through Tom's goodwill and for the pool police out there, the pool gods. But no, great performance.
He's done it again. Tom Cousins is a Pro Series champion once again.
Your Pro Series 3 winner is Tom Cousins.